Hello and welcome. Today we're just going to do another shave test. It's another one of my keepers. I kind of mentioned it a little bit, I think a couple of videos, and alluded to it in the last one. It's another Japanese razor. It's by a company called Kikuokan, trademark. Number 48. It's got stamped on it. Special steel it says. Oh dear. Let's have a look at her. Get this cardboard out of the way. Hope you're doing all well. Well enough, as they say. It's a rather pretty razor, I must say. It's got a little kind of like inlay bit there. The scales remind me a lot of the Gotta scales. They're made to a very kind of high standard, I would say. There's barely a mark on the whole razor. Let's get it out. It's just one of my favourite kind of patterns. Grind on it is just, well, exquisite, we could probably say. It's just lovely, and I love my Japanese razors, so I'm a bit biased, but with good reason with something like this. It's just really nice. Let's do the reverse size, be ever so careful turning it. There we go. Somewhere there, it says 48 on that side. So on the side it says 48. I think it says Kikuokan Limited, I think, but I can barely make it out. Little stamp. Registered trademark, Kikuokan, Tokyo, Japan. But what makes this special, well, this razor just that little bit more special is, see it right on the tang there? I think you can just about get a glimpse of it. It says Tamahagane, which in Japanese means precious steel. So the traditional way they used to do it, because, well, Japan, from what I've read, I can remember reading about it years and years and years ago, they've not got very good iron ore, like just naturally in their land. So they've always had kind of import good iron. Sweden was the obvious choice, but they after the First World War they imported a hell of a lot of what they used to call Sheffield steel. Was actually, like, on the whole, it was generally Swedish steel, or at least the good stuff was. You know, there's no telling how they've done this, but I can't imagine they can stamp it on there and get away with it if it's not at least good steel. And I can't find too much about Kikuokan, but what I can find is they were a very good company, basically, and I think they're considered of high regard in the shaving community, let's say that. Hang on, excuse me. It's one of them razors where I just caught, well, basically I got by, well, not by mistake, because nothing's by mistake, I guess, but yeah, let's just say I completely lucked into it. It sounds different on the hones. On the lower grit, had some little tiny microchips in it, so I put a bit of tape on the spine. I took it down to my Shapton 320. I don't know, just using that 320 word swearing in terms of, yeah, to some people, but at the end of the day, if you've got chips, you get them out, and that 320 was basically designed for that purpose. It don't dig into the stone too much. It still, well, stays relatively flat for a decent amount of time, do you know what I mean? It don't dish quick or anything for a low grit stone. Shapton Pro again. And once I got rid of all the chips and I kind of like just preset the bevel's kind of set with a 320 really. It's just, it's not a very nice edge. You can see like there's bits of sort of jagged and, you know, under the microscope anyway. Oh, excuse me, my cold's come out of me now pretty much. Getting a bit of the old phlegm though, so, you know, it's not the most pleasant experience. And it was a lot more bitey on my nail on the 320. So whatever way I look at it, it's definitely a good steel, because it's always been the good steel on that 320 where I noticed it's a little tiny bit shinier and a little tiny bit more bitey on the nail. In some ways, it feels like you set the bevel. And what I've done with this is I've gone, well, 320 to get rid of little tiny micro nicks, 1000, 2000, 5000 Shapton Pro, and then I've gone straight to my Lv5 Jnat with a mejiro nagura first, and then a Tomo nagura done with a a diamond plate. It's not actually a DMT, that little tiny one. And then just rinse it, do it under the tap. And then what I've done is I've tried to do, well, I'm not going to say his name because I ain't got it in front of me, so it'd be offensive, but Iwazi Siki, the dude who made the really good razors and went to studied sort of metals extensively, and his son carried it on and everything. So I reread his book again the other day, and so I've sort of put some of those practices into it. So I did the Tomo, and then I did the little sort of V, kind of like the little V laps, which I kind of do anyway on most when I'm finishing off on the Jnat or whatever finisher I'm using. I always do sort of just little, just little ones, man, because supposedly it helps get rid of the very, pardon me, fine wire edge. So I've been doing that for a long time anyway. But yeah, I was putting more kind of conscious effort into it today. And then when I put it on my little diamond pasted strop, I've done the little V's on it just like he did it, like going sort of like that's the length of the strop, so kind of going like that on the strop, pasted strop, 0.20, 0.25, and then straight onto a fine linen, and then a horse leather strop, but not that bloody tap, not the shell Cordovian one. It's a very fast strop, that is. It's a very slidey, shiny, fast strop. Right, it's somewhere near now. Three days growth. Couldn't really fit one in yesterday, so I didn't. I thought, well, I'll save it for this razor anyway. Been excited to shave with it, I must say. It could be my new favourite. If it shaves like I hope, I think that's going to go to the top of my pile, so to speak. So let's have a little feel of it. It's got really nice weight to it. What you find is with some, well, quite a lot of sort of top tier, I call them, Japanese razors, they manufacture a little tiny bit more weight in the shank and also in the spine. At least that's what I feel like, because you know it's a 20mm blade, so it's not a big blade, or is it 21? Somewhere around there. So it's not big, but it feels weighty. You know, and that is to do with the density of the steel as well. From what I've read, they use finer grains and all that jazz. Lovely. And straight to the top of the pile, I think. I was hoping it was going to do that. It's I wouldn't really call it a full hollow. I'd say that's just a little bit more than a full hollow. Well, sorry, a bit less of a hollow than a full hollow, but not quite a half, if you know what I mean. Somewhere near a half though. But it's stiff, it's nice. Favourite grind. And it is what I thought it would be. Just bloody marvellous. Yeah, there's a bit near the heel. Let's just say it starts about kind of there. But because it's going to be one of my razors, and frankly I don't really care too much if I'm just shy of the heel a tiny bit, because it's not something you use and you can get around it, you see. So I'd rather not chase the metal, because you lose metal up here. So seeing as it's mine, the heel still works, look though. It's just leaving a few hairs, and it's not tugging at all. But like I said, because it's mine. we'll sort that out on the next honing or the next one or the next one. Basically, who cares? Because if you know it's kind of there as well. I never really shave. Really tight to my heel, really. Got a nice sound to it. It's not too loud, slightly different sound to what I kind of expected. I thought it might be a bit more audible, but there's just no mark on it basically. Just nothing really, no mark. It's a tiny little watermark on the shank, but I reckon I'd get that out with more polish. The only thing I've done to it is hand polish it, hone it. Trying to research the brand and this particular razor, I actually come across some Russian dude. So that was interesting watching his video. And he was very, well, oh no, do you know what, I might actually be wrong now. I think I come across him and he was shaving with my Kikuokan. In fact, I'm near sure it was now, because I remember he had 2 Kikuokans, yeah, and he was comparing them. I'll have to double check, I'll double check, I'll put it in the comments if I'm right or wrong. But either way, he seemed like a right nice dude. He certainly knew what he was at with the sharpening sort of end of it. Right, so that's one pass, kind of with the grain. Just lather up a bit more and just have a nice little feel and gauge first pass. So I've got 4 Japanese razors now and I just love them. I've got a Parker 1001, which I just love. Needs a bit more sort of fettling, that does, to bring it back to its perfect self. New scales as well, because they're not original scales on that, and it really lets the razor down a little bit. I've got my Kikuokan 6800 and a 55, and they're both just exceptional razors. If I was going to pick one, I'd probably pick the 55 possibly. And supposedly that's meant to be made with some really special steel as well, from a particular region in Japan. I'll have to put that in the, I can't remember if I put it in there or not. I did actually, yeah I did, I amended it when I found out. Basically I translated the Chinese on the, Chinese, I do excuse me Japanese people. Yeah, basically I think I did, I edited it, I know I did now. Just put it in the, yeah, when I used translate off my phone, it basically just about picked it up. Right, let's have a little feel. You can hear that. It's got still a bit of stubble there. It's tight. Little problem spot. Yeah, it's still a bit there, but that's nice and tight. It's good first pass. Feels like real consistent and everything as well, because that's what I look for in the first pass. You know, you could walk away and get on with your day. You know what I mean? You're not really going to notice much. That's just nice, that is. It is nice. Excuse me. Always keep the water topped up. I've got a tiny bit of a leaky plug, I think. Always keep it topped up. Always put your finger like that, I do. And I put it in just enough to go like that, and I know I never hit the bottom. I've never hit the bottom of a razor, but I dropped one in once. That was a bad day. Well, I'm very pleasantly pleased with this. I'm so happy it's come out good. It's the kind of razor where you feel like you could probably go quite quick with it, if you know what I mean. Kind of inspires you a bit to... Obviously you've got to be a bit careful with that because it could be a bit false confidence in a way, but definitely yeah, you could definitely go, well, it feels like it breeds confidence, let's put it that way, because that is what I mean. Don't really need to say more. I ain't really killed the tip on this, I've remembered now, but let's have a look. No, it's naturally been done in the factory, see it? It's like I think I'm the first person to really hone it because I looked at the edge and it was quite scrapey. Yeah, he was definitely alright though as well. It's just that first, just coming off the bend. Well, that's a lovely shave done. That's bloody sharp. Perfectly flat edge, straight edge is where it really has. So when I did the microchipping and everything, I made doubly sure it was nice and straight because it's meant to be straight, you see. It's not meant to have a smile. Perfectly straight on the spine. And that's true for a lot of Japanese razors. And then you've got the obvious exceptions, and I think that's Kikuboshi. Or is it Kikuboshi, the Sato? The ones that really do like the really like heavy smile razor with the almost wavy scales. Don't know if any of you have seen them. They cost $1 or $2, I'll tell you. big time money they go for. I'd love to shave with one though. I have actually got ones that are tiny bit similar. I forget the make of them now. Is it Rag? Anyway, I'll show you them at some point and get them ready. But they're almost a little bit styled like them, but not in no way more extreme. It's nice having a good old massage with a brush, I find. Yeah, and somebody said, why do I put lather back on? It's basically just to use your products. I did comment like, and you know, put it back into your skin, especially if you use good products. Today I'm using old Captain Fawcett's. Captain Fawcett's. Capt BLK 12S brush. But yeah, you get to use your product again, getting the full use of it, as best as you can. You know, it's full of kind of moisturisers and good stuff. Use good stuff. It's full of good stuff in it. And like I said in the comment, I've said before, I generally just use Metallo for after, and that stuff's lovely. That is. I put that on the other day. It was actually yesterday. A couple of hours later, my wife could still smell it, and she was about half a metre away from me downwind. And I'll tell you, I'm only using a tiny little bit of that tallow. You can hear it's pretty much gone now. I want to get some more naguras now so I can do a full kind of nagura progression, just because it'd be fun, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Go and get my little lady. Hope you enjoyed some of that. Hope you gained something from it. So this is the Kikuokan Tamahagane, Tokyo, Japan. It's a number 48. And there's one last look at it. Lovely, lovely razor. Now to try and find more of them, eh? I'm not going to say it's rare, but you can't find them. Right, toodaloo, you have a good day. See you later.